ACIM Insights Lesson 80. Let me recognize my problems have been solved. If only love is real, then there can be no real problems. Separation is the only problem, and separation in reality has never occurred. So the problem of separation has been solved. All are still within the mind of God. As I remember this, I return to peace, remembering that the only problem has been solved. This lesson reminds me of another place in the Course, which asks me to rise above the battleground, to see the love that is always there. When I am willing to open to God's love and really receive it, I come to the awareness that love is all that is important. Love is all that is real. In this place of remembering love, I realize that the conflicts that constantly arise within the stories of separation are just a series of attempts to make the false ideas of separation real. I do not have to fight what I recognize is a hallucination. I do not have to fight the ego. I do not need to make the ego real. In fact, letting go of making the ego real is what helps me realize that the one problem has been solved. Love is eternal. Love is changeless. Love cannot be threatened. What is not love does not exist. Realizing this, I return to peace. Peace is constant. It is only when I try to make what is not real my reality that the appearance of problems could arise. Thank God this could never happen in truth. Thank God that only love is real. My only problem has been solved. This lesson makes it clear how simple salvation truly is. There is only one problem, and that problem has already been solved. In our experience in the world, simple and easy do not necessarily equate. The difficulty in accepting the solution is not because the problem is complex. The difficulty comes from lack of willingness. It comes from a deeply held desire to have specialness, which was the cause of the belief in separation in the first place. In order to fully accept that separation is the only problem and accept its solution, I must be willing to relinquish specialness. This is what forgiveness is for. Every judgment is an attempt to maintain specialness. It is an attempt to distinguish and therefore separate me from what I judge. By making it appear that there are myriad differences, I hold the illusion of separateness in place. Consequently, I cannot see the underlying common thread that makes all the problems the same. This is exactly what the ego wants, because as long as I see a problem as different, I will look for solutions where no problem can be found. By practicing today's lesson, by reminding myself all through the day that my problems have been solved, I am accepting the possibility that I may have been looking for solutions in the wrong place. If my problems have been solved, but I don't perceive them as being solved, I must not be looking where the solution is. As this idea becomes more prevalent in my mind, I become more and more open to be led to accepting the real solution. Whether I apply this idea to a specific perceived problem or repeat it as a general affirmation, I am accelerating my process of relinquishing my grip on belief in a false reality. I am deeply grateful for the genius of the Holy Spirit for the many tools offered in the Course to help me question all that I thought was real and open my mind to new possibilities. Today, no matter what conflict I look upon, I would remember that all my problems, all conflict, has been solved. God's love remains unchanged. And being extensions of God's love, all God's sons remain unchanged, as God created them. Isn't this a perfect follow-up to the lesson we have been learning? I worked on yesterday's lesson as often as I could. I tried to see the real problem in every upset, every negative thought. Now that I have my mind around the idea that each one stemmed from the same mistaken idea, that I am separate, I can consolidate by doing the same thing today, except I will recognize that not only are all problems the same, they have been solved. I like what we are doing with this set of lessons. I feel like a gardener who has spent the winter months clearing the land, preparing the soil and planting the seeds. I am beginning to see the fruits of my labor. Just as I am seeing the first blossoms of spring out my window, I am seeing blossoms within.